Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to September Throwback. It is that time of the month, and we are looking way back in the archives, and we're bringing something back that is going to inspire this release. So, those of you who have been collecting these throwbacks, in the very, very beginning, we just brought things back, but now we're going back even farther, and some of them need to be redone. So that's what I've done. I've revised them, and now they're inspired. The release is inspired by something from the past. So I will show that all to you guys. I'll show you where it's what inspired this release today, and then we'll do some tutorials. So good morning. I can see my people coming on here. So hello, Jen. She is on. Jane. Good morning, Jane. Linda, hello. Ruth Ann is on. Hello, Ruth Ann. Sandy and Ellen. Debbie Hedges, hello. Cherie, hello. Consuelo, good morning from North Georgia. Wow. Kathy Akers, good morning, Kathy. Simone, Julie, good morning. So good to see you all. It is so good to see you all. Exactly. Antelope, California. Hello, Debbie. And Sharon, hello. Carol, our friends from Canada. Diana is on. Good morning, Diana and Lori. Good to have you guys on with me. I love it. So on Throwbacks, I get to see you Tuesday, and then I get to see you again on Wednesday. So it's a win-win. And tomorrow on Watercolor Wednesday, because this set was so much fun, I'm going to do another version of it. So, when it's something like this that has so many different uses and there's so much potential with it, I have to do another one tomorrow. So we'll be doing another one. So keep that in mind. If you purchase this set, I'm going to do 2 tutorials on it, 2. And we will get to that. So hello, is on, Joy, Lee, Margaret from Ohio. Good, and on YouTube. Welcome to all of you on YouTube. So we've just come back to YouTube after a long time away, and we're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook now. So in the future, we'll be adding a few more. So we are just thrilled to have our YouTube people. So if you have any issues with Facebook, just jump over to YouTube, and we hear that the streaming is really good there too. So check that out. And we're just happy to have you on here. Barbara, hello. Teresa, this throwback looks so exciting. You guys, I'm going to show you 2 different versions I did. Well, I'm going to show you the one today that we're going to do, and then 2 other versions that I did with this. So we'll switch over and do that. Linda, hi from YouTube. Hello. Teresa says, we just got that great Fox set and encouragement journal. So much goodness. Thank you so much. Kim, isn't she talented? She is so good. She is an artist through and through, but has not had a chance to really even see what her potential is. She really is. She's very talented and loves animals. Those of you who have seen her tutorials, if there's not an animal in it somewhere, I'm going to hear about it. So, she needs to have like some kind of bird or, some kind of creature in the background of her projects. So it's just perfect that she has started doing these little animal, wild kingdom sets. And she's really, really good at it. And she has a different style than me. Everything that I do ends up looking a bit whimsical. And I've never really been good at things that are more lifelike, realistic. So realistic wildlife has never been my strength. And I always want to put a smile on some character's face. So she has kind of jumped into that niche and is just created these sets that are just so cute. They're so cute. And I think these foxes might be my favorite. Although, you guys, you'll have to see what's coming down the pipe. She's got more things coming. So I'm so thrilled to see her doing these sets. They're just so cute, and they fit with our watercolor too. So I love that about it. If it's going to work with the watercolor, that's an even bigger plus for me. So, okay, been looking forward to this throwback demo all day. I hope you love it. This is honestly has been one of my favorites. And when it's my favorite, the reason it's my favorite is because there are so many uses for it. And I like things to be versatile. I like you to be able to grab it and do something different than what's on the packaging. And this is really one of those. And I absolutely love this set. I love it. So you guys, there's always limited quantities. So be sure to, if you must have it, just get it early so you can make sure to grab yours. All right, Janet is on. Diana says, huge shout out and thank you to Leah for getting our orders out so quickly. Leah is an absolute queen. She is just absolutely the best. Her ears should be ringing all day long because we just sing her praises all the time. If it can be done, she will figure out how to do it. And she will always try to get your orders out quickly. And if you ever have a question or an issue with anything, Leah is happy to help. So she has been awesome for us. We are so thankful for her. Hello, Suska. She is on. Simone says she already ordered. Okay, so okay, Simone. Awesome. Good for you. Thank you so much. Janice says, good morning. Excited I couldn't sleep last night. Okay, Janice, this is a simple project. So you being excited about this one, it's going to be worth it because it's super, super easy. And the one tomorrow will be too. So you guys, I just love it. I love doing these throwbacks. They're so much fun. And I've talked about this before, but it takes me back to when I started. And a lot of these things, they were labors of love. I didn't have all my, computer tools that I have now. And I sat with my little lighted box and my little tiny fine tip marker and drew these all out. And then I would get, no kidding, I would get like 2/3 of the way through, mess it up, and have to start all over again. So I can look at these, and especially this one today, anything that has a lot of details, lines, and dots, I know that I spent hours on these things. So it's kind of fun to go back and look at the style from back then. I'm going to show you the original one in the catalog. So this one is actually it looks like it's from the 97 catalog. And it's in here. So I'm not sure. I didn't look at earlier catalogs to see if it was in there too. But the SKU is 1217, and we're on, what are we on? 5900, Joel? Yeah. Something like that. So 5961. 5961. Okay, so that tells you how many things have been released since this image was released way back when. But I do remember creating these, and this was back before watercolor, when we just stamped everything in a permanent black ink. And then we used our markers, not a brush and a palette, but we just used our markers to color everything in. And I remember doing these with all these lines because I was always obsessed with making things three-dimensional. I just always wanted to make a flat image look more realistic. And so when I put all these hash lines in and all of these, dots in there, it was for shadows. It was to create shadows and texture. So now that's all changed. So now what I do is I go back to these and I take the lines out. I take them all out and then I rework it a little bit so that it's more user-friendly and a little easier to do. And the thing about this watercolor is, it's simple. It's simple. Practice makes perfect, and we're never really perfect, but practice will really refine your skills. So the more that you do this, the better at it you're going to get. And the few rules that we have will start to come naturally to you. You'll just see it and you'll just do it. So many things I love about this, including my people. You guys, thanks so much for being on with me today. I love Throwback Tuesday, and obviously because I've just been going on and on about it. So thanks for being here. I am going to say hi to a couple more here. Okay, good morning from under the arch, the gateway to the west. Welcome, so glad you're here. Brenda, hello. Mary from Michigan. Can't get you on Facebook, watching on YouTube. Yes, if you can't get us on Facebook, check us out on YouTube and vice versa. Bonnie and AI friends from North Texas. Nancy, hello. Karen says, Leah is a gem. Leah is awesome. Never be afraid to contact her if you have a question. If it's something she can't answer, she'll get it to one of us. and we will answer it. All right. Ginger says, love all your creations. Thanks so much, Ginger. There have been a lot of them in 37 years, you guys. Lots changed, including my style. And some of these that I look back on, they're kind of cringe. Because I would just redo them so different now. But, it's all part of, the progression and the history of AI. And, it's good to look back and see where you've come from. And, your art especially, the more that you do it, the better you're going to get, which is why I'm so, on you guys about sign and date, because even in a year, even in 6 months, you'll be amazed at your progress. So I will continue to do that on you guys. All right. Hi from Oklahoma, watching on Facebook. Welcome, Vicki and Peggy. Peggy says you make us look good. And you're a real person and radiate love. Oh, Peggy, thank you so. You guys are just the best. Encouraging words constantly and just so appreciated. Absolutely appreciated. Nancy says we cringe too. Yes, Lorna, it's fun to see the progression. It is. And you will progress. The more that you do, you will. And I see it in my own style as well. And I am constantly changing. And things I did even a few years ago, I've changed and do them a little bit different now. So we learn. We're always learning and growing. Okay, Judy from Corpus Christi, welcome. Welcome to you guys. Okay, I'm going to switch over and I'll show you the new release and then we'll get to our project. Okay, here we go. So it is the farmhouse. That is the one that has been brought back. And those of you, tell me if you guys have this catalog. So this is the catalog that I'm looking at. This is the 1997 catalog when the fronts and backs came out. This was a big release year for us when this catalog came out. And here is that farmhouse. And here is the difference. Let me put these side to side. So you can see I've taken the lines out. I've changed the perspective a little bit. I kept the little porch and I added a clothesline because I just felt like a farmhouse, a vintage, retro farmhouse would have a clothesline. I don't know about you guys, but my mom had a clothesline when I was growing up and I still remember it like yesterday. I remember the sheets on it and I made the coolest forts out of that clothesline. I don't know if you guys did too, but how many times did you hang a blanket on the clothesline and create a fort? And then it was a T-bar. So this one is just a post, but my mom's had a T-bar across the top and I made all kinds of swings and just all kinds of creations out of that clothesline and the clothesline post. So it's very nostalgic for me. Siska says, we have a clothesline in our backyard. Well, before air conditioning. Absolutely. Ulrika, my mom still hangs out on the clothesline. If my mom were living, she would too. And do you remember, okay, so this is what I remember about the clothesline, is the way the clothesline smelled, the way the clothes smelled. But I don't know, did your mom ever dry towels on it? Because they would come in literally hard as a rock and so abrasive. And I remember drying off to these towels and they were so abrasive, not soft like our towels that come out of the dryer. And I do remember that when I first moved away and, when I got married really young, is putting towels in the dryer and having them be so soft. Amy, cardboard. Yes, it was like cardboard. Yes, Christy. I went through all these memories when I was drawing this clothesline and I just was laughing to yes, like sandpaper. You guys, my people. Yes, exactly. Marianne says, I have all brothers. Blankets I put on the line for forts. Brothers shot hockey pucks. And in true Canadian fashion. How hilarious. In Nova Scotia, our clothes would freeze in the winter. You could lean against the wall. You know what, Tanya? My mom also put everything, it didn't matter what season it was out on the clothesline. Because, she had we had a wringer washer. One of those wringer washers. And she would wash it. We never had a dryer. And it would go out on the clothesline. So winter or summer or spring. They're great for exfoliation. No kidding, Julie. But they smelled good. That was the one thing. We had the T-bar. Christy, you had the T-bar too. I made swings out of that. One time, you guys were getting off track here. One time I took a gunny sack and I filled it up. This is me, when I was little. I just was constantly making things, I took a gunny sack and I filled it with old clothes and I tied a rope to both sides of it and I made a horse. I mean, get a visual. And I think I made a saddle and I made stirrups out of rope. And I played on that thing, I don't know how long. So, creativity. This is what we did. We sent our kids outside, back before iPads and all of that. We sent them outside with literally no toys. My family, we were very poor. And so what I did was I found things that I just made in the garage. And I made that, horse, amongst other things, with that T-bar. Marjorie says we had the T-bar and my aunt had a wringer washer. Yes. Yep, I remember that thing. And you had to put the clothes through the wringer. So it was these two round rotating bars and you put the clothes through the wringer and it wrung them out and then they went right onto the clothesline. I used a stick with rope as my horse. Ellen, back in the days where we hardly had any toys, hardly any. My girls remind me of Hobby Lobby. I think that was her name. Yes, dryers are so much better than clotheslines. Everything was stiff as a board and rough. Oh, gosh, Lee. How funny. We all have these memories, you guys. It's so funny. Anyway, back to our topic. You guys, we really got off on a tangent, but so many things are involved with nostalgia. And so here's my clothesline I had to put on here. I couldn't fit a T-bar on here. I wanted to, but I just put a regular post and then I made, some things that we can put on here. But it's easy to leave this off if you don't want the clothesline. You could just not color it. There's lots of room for other things on here. So this one does not come with clothesline, but it does come with trees. So there's a tree that comes with this one. Here's actually what it looks like. This is the actual stamp right here. It comes with the fence on the front and the clothesline, but both can easily be removed. In other words, you just don't ink it. So when you go to stamp this and you ink the house, you can ink the house and the tree. Just leave these things off, and then you don't. It's so versatile that way. It's so versatile. Okay, so let me move this aside. And here is our project that we're going to be doing with it. We're going to do the clothesline, we're going to do the fence, and then let me show you what is free with this set. So in addition to this, we always give you a free stamp for purchasing this. This is just always our thank you for buying this throwback. And it is the little chickens. So we never had chickens growing up, but I don't know why I associate chickens with a farmhouse. Maybe because it's a farmhouse. And so I made these little chickens, and we have recently just got chickens at our house. And well, I should say my granddaughters have gotten chickens. And so they are out in our back, and we hear the rooster now in the morning. So one rooster and all these chickens. So I'm new to this, but I just love these chickens. They're so cute, and there's so many different colors of them. And notice how realistic they look, you guys. I mean, this was a stretch for me. They're really realistic looking. That took me a while. And I just love them. I think they're so cute. So this is let me show you the actual sizes of this, because this is smaller than what they are up here. And this is a little larger. So here is the actual image of the chickens. So let me just measure this for you, because I know some of you will want to know this. So they're about 2 inches. It's about 2 inches long. And from top to bottom, just a little over 1 inch, maybe 1 inch and 1/8. So they're pretty small. And I was looking at these thinking you could easily make a simple coop in the background with one of the simple structures. I should have grabbed that set if I'd have thought about it, but a little structure back in here with a coop, and you could put a little ramp on it. You could easily make one of the structures into a chicken coop. And I think that would just be so cute. So anyway, this is our free gift with the throwback. So you will automatically get this in your order. If you order this, this will come with it and you'll get this. This is exclusive, so this will not be released. None of these things are released into our line of stamps, into our catalog. These are just a one-time purchase. So you can get it until Thursday at 12 o'clock Pacific time, midnight, so 11:59. And you could get it until then, and then they go away. So it's just a fun thing that we do. We bring these old images back because, you know, we've been in business so long. And I just, okay, what's somebody saying? Kendra's Coop. Still haven't made one from her video. On my list. Okay, Nancy. We'll have to find that and put that link on there. Wouldn't that be cute? Yes, they are different, Lorna says. Yes, they're a little bit bigger, different from the other ones. Yep. Thank you for, I meant to say that too. Making a chicken journal. So loving some new chickens. Peggy, yes. Georgia, okay, what are you saying about her chore was ironing and she would sprinkle the clothes with a 7-Up bottle with a sprinkling cork. Yes, oh my word, yes, I had that too. That was my chore, ironing with a sprinkle bottle. Oh my word, you guys, the memories are coming back. All right, so, and also, we also bring back one of our little promotional stamps from years ago, and that is this one. So we're bringing back this little mouse. It's available on our website, EF0924. You'll be able to get this on our website just until Thursday again. So we always bring these back for you who are collecting these. You can see the whole collection if you go to artimpressions.com, go to the very top that says Get Inspired, and click on that, and you'll see the collector's guide. And you can see all of these little things that we have released over the years that we have brought back with little boxes, so you can check off the ones that you have. So this one is coming back for a short time, this little mouse. I think she's so cute with her little flower. And she will be this month's throwback. So I'll show these again at the end, but these are the two that are being released as a throwback. This one, and then this as the free gift. All right, so let's move these out of the way and we are going to get to our project. So here is the project that we're going to do. And this is very similar to what's on the cover because I want to do the one that you're going to see that we would, you know, automatically. So when I look at the farmhouse, this is how I see it. This is my first impression of how I see it, with this kind of a summery theme, some flowers, some greenery, you know, the clothes hanging on the line. That's kind of how I see it. So that is, it's not really the obvious way, but it's probably the most common way to see it. So then I thought, oh, it's going to be so cute as Christmas, especially with that little fence. So we're going to do this one tomorrow. We've got Christmas coming up. I just think this is would be such a cute Christmas card. And you guys, absolutely the simplest thing ever. And you can see on this one that I added the shutters to it. So easily done is to add shutters to this one as well. So I left some of the lines out. I changed it up a little bit. I changed out what's in here. And if you look close, you can see that I made this a window. So this is like a little tree in the window or a little wreath hanging in the window, and it will just be so cute. So you can kind of make it whatever you want. You could put a little wreath here. It's really small. Let me just zoom in here because I want to show you this. So it's really small in here in the window. And to make it a wreath, you just want to make a little white circle with your white paint. Just a little white circle and it becomes a wreath. So you don't have to worry about leaving that space open. And look how cute these are hanging over the top of the fence. I just love that. When I made this fence, that's what I thought of too. And you know, when I make these things, especially these throwbacks, I always think about how to use it for Christmas. I always think about that because I love to make these little snowy scenes. You guys, yes, Kathy, be sure to say if you want to be in the drawing, and you could specify which one you want to win. The spring, the winter, or you guys. So then, I mean, I had to make the Halloween one because I also thought, how cute would this be as a Halloween? And wow, I went a little overboard, but I couldn't stop doing it. And I kept grabbing stuff and putting it in here. And I don't even know how many sets I used, but I pulled out all of the fall sets with the pumpkins, the webs. the bats. I mean, the grasses. I made some little webs, and I just had the most fun making that. It was absolutely fun. And you know what? It's so big. Like, look at it compared to this one. You know, it's much bigger. It almost, I mean, I feel like it almost should go in a frame. And don't be afraid to frame these, you guys. Don't be afraid to frame these. They're so cute. And putting it in a frame for somebody, you could put a little placard on the front that says to a special friend, or, you know, and put a date on it. But it would be so cute for them to just hang on their wall. So we've got these three ways that you can, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. These three ways that you can use this little house. When it comes to a structure like this, they're so versatile. And especially this, because it's kind of big and open and super easy to color. So you can change out the color, you can take these details out, you can change it with the seasons. Making it fall would just be so cute. It doesn't have to be Halloween, it could just be fall. So you could leave all of these like little spook and all of these things off, and just put the little pumpkins across the front with some really pretty fall tree in the background. Cindy says, are you going to do a tutorial on the Halloween one? I absolutely love it. Cindy, I just have time for one more. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing that. And okay, you guys, here's what to do. If you tell me which one you want to see, I've got one more day that I can do this tutorial because it's going to go away. So tell me which one. Do you want to see the Christmas one, or do you want to see the Halloween one? And give me your vote, and I will do the one that you guys are requesting. Okay? I want to hear from you. So if you love the Halloween, be sure to put that on there. Cisco, I want to see the Halloween. You know what, you guys? There's a lot of instruction in the Halloween one. Even if you're not really a fan of Halloween, there is some freestyle drawing. There's a lot of detail in here. Let me just zoom in on it. So that you could see the difference here in the detail. So I changed the roof. I made the roof a little more jagged. I blocked off this window. I added another window. I hung these little shutters. I made the tree a lot more spiky. I added the webs. I drew the web in here into this opening. I left the little little pot off. Changed the door, created this fence. This is, you guys, absolutely the easiest thing ever. I made a little wrought iron fence that goes in between here. Literally, it's a triangle, 4 triangles, and a line. Like literally a line. But you could also, if I do the Halloween one, you could also easily change it to fall. It doesn't, and I know there aren't a lot of, people who are fans of Halloween. I loved it as a kid. So I just, I love creating these Halloween things. And my things I don't like scary things. So everything has a smile on its face, including my little ghost in the window. But I also love making these jack-o'-lanterns with the teeth, with the white teeth in them. I love it. I found a spider, put a spider up here. I mean, you guys, I just went to town on this. There is a wrought iron fence, Debbie, you're right, in one of the throwbacks. Yep. And you know what? I bet it would fit. You could make it fit because you can color just the section that would fit in between here. That would be really cute. You could also make a really small wrought iron fence across the back. I had so many trees and branches going on back here that I didn't have room for it. But, you can just keep going with these things. They're so much fun. And then all the, fall leaves and scraggly branches and everything. It was just so much fun. So if you want to see this one, or let's go back to the Christmas because I absolutely love the Christmas too. This one was really fun to do. This would be such a cute, and you guys, you can't see glitter on the screen, but you could just glitter the heck out of this and make it so sparkly and so cute. This would be such a beautiful Christmas card with all the little berries and everything. You could easily add a gate to this. Really, really simply. And maybe I'll add that to the tutorial. If we decide on the Christmas one, I'll show you how to make a simple gate that you could add to it. You could put a little wreath on this. You could put a wreath on the fence on both sides of here. It's just so cute. And I love the snow. I love doing the snowy trees. So let me show all three again so you guys can decide. So let me zoom out. Okay, so this is our project for today. This one's the one for today. This one is what I planned on doing tomorrow. However, if you guys outnumber the Christmas with the Halloween, then we'll do that one. I'll do that one. Okay, and here's what it looks like. Here's what the Halloween one looks like. And here they are all together. Let me zoom out a little farther. Okay, so here's today's. Here's tomorrow's. And then here is the Halloween one. Look how different they all look. I love that about this stamp. That's what I mean by this one being one of my favorites, is I love this idea that you can take this stamp set and you can change it up so much. You can absolutely change it up so much. You could add more things in the front here too. You could add some, little straggly branches with, some little holly berries, and that would be really cute too. So, there are so many things. And again, you could make this fall without making it Halloween, just by leaving the faces off, leaving the scary things off, the webs. So cute. Sleeping deer. Oh, Julie, that would be so cute. That would be so cute. Maybe we'll have time to add that tomorrow. The sleeping deer. Okay, you guys, I will be checking your votes. And to be determined tomorrow. We'll see which one you guys choose. I'm sure Leah is keeping a tally. If she isn't, Leah, would you keep a tally? And we'll see which ones we'll be doing tomorrow. All right, you guys, let's get to our project. Let's get to it. So let's move these things out of the way. And I have stamped the whole thing. Let's see if I can just try to keep this in the screen. So let's zoom back in. Changing, this is, they change so much with a season, but they also change with the color palette. And you could make this more rustic by doing a different colored fence. You see how rustic this fence looks? I mean, like, it's just kind of looks dilapidated, but that's also because of the color that it is. So you could change this fence out to a brown. You could make the fencing back here. You could add a little fence back here. And you could change the color of the house, maybe a yellow. Wouldn't a little yellow farmhouse be cute? You could do that. So there's a lot of ways that you could change it up, even without thinking about the seasons. And of course, the fence. There's so many ways to dress up a fence with different colors. So if you are requesting, if you're saying in the comments, Zilla, okay, yes, she wants the spring themed farmhouse. So if there's one that you prefer and you get picked, then, and I'll be giving away these two anyway. So I'll be giving away the Halloween one and the Christmas one for sure, and this one. So 3. So if you have a preference, just put that on there. Just put it on there. All right. So let's get to it. I feel like I've just been an absolute just chatterbox this whole time. This is what happens when you get with your friends. You start reminiscing, and one thing leads to another. So, all right. First thing we're going to do is, obviously stamp the image, and stamp the image in the 2 colors. This is a quiz, you guys. What are they? 969, 565. 969 and 565. This one first, this one second. Use a stamp platform. You guys, use a stamp platform. These are big. This is a big stamp. And, even though it's rubber, and by the way, these things are all rubber. Everything is rubber on this release, including that little mouse. So you're getting rubber on all 3 of these. So it's very difficult to get a good even impression without, not so much that it could be light in some areas, but that it could be really dark in some areas. And that just sort of takes away from your finished project. You don't want a dark line to show up in one place and have something super light back here. You want a really even design like this. It seems like a little thing, but it really is it's a big thing. So get a stamp. There are different, price points on them. I have the Misty. I've had it for years. And, when I got that, there weren't a lot of other ones to choose from. So I know there are some now that are less expensive. So check those out. Check on Amazon, stamp platform, and use that because you will get a perfect impression. And if you're missing a little edge somewhere or, something didn't stamp quite right, you could just re-ink it and stamp it again. So you're going to stamp this off because it's rubber. I would recommend you stamp it off twice. So on your stamp platform, ink it once, ink it twice, remove that scrap paper, put in your canvas, and then stamp it again on that one. All right, so those two colors we're going to stamp it with. That's what we didn't leave anything off. We're going to do it as is. So this is actually how the stamps if you stamp every single corner of it. Debbie says, this is my great grandmother's farmhouse. Oh, how awesome. What color was it, Debbie? Was it white? Tell me that because you could color it to match. You could easily do that. That would be so cute. Putting a little mailbox in front. We have that little mailbox on the post. A little birdhouse. You guys, there's so many things that you could do on this fence. I could spend a month on this, honestly. Bonnie, I would love to see the tutorial on the Halloween. Think that would be awesome. Okay, Kathy, you got to vote for Halloween for sure. There are just so many variations of it, and I like the size of it too. So it's a little bit bigger than some of the other ones that we've done, but I think that makes it more versatile too. You can add a lot more details to the little house. Okay, so let's get going on this. So we're gonna start out by pulling the color from the lines, but we're gonna put some color onto our onto our palette. So let me see, how can I keep this in the screen? Let me just move it out a little bit like this so that I can get my palette in here. And actually, I can move it over a little bit more. It just helps to see where you're going. If I were watching this tutorial, I would like to see what the end result is. So that I could see when I'm in that middle stage that I'm not messing up. Does that make sense to anyone? Because sometimes when you're in it, you kind of have to trust the process. It doesn't look like it's going to come together, but it does. It does come together. So you just have to kind of trust the process. And when you're in the middle of it, if you can see where you're going, that really makes a difference. So I'm going to add some blue on here. We're going to use this blue in the sky in the background. And this is the 565. Let's see what else we're going to need. We're going to need some green. So we're going to use the 177. And on this one, you can see how bright this green is. I'm going to do a mix of green on here. So we're going to use two colors. And we're going to use this one also. This is the 195. And I have not used this very much, but this is a beautiful color. And it's really pretty when it's combined with this one. We're gonna put them together on the stamp, but this is what they look like. This is that bright, bright green, and this is that really pretty warm green. This is the 177. The 177, so this is 177, and this one is, where did I just now put that marker? Oh, in my hand, you guys. Oh, wow. You guys, I can't sometimes. 195. I'm literally like this, saying, where did I put my marker? Okay. 195. 195 on this one. Okay, and we're going to mix those on the stamp. All right? So let's see. What else? The blue, the greens, the browns. So the brown is the warm brown, the 947. This is the warm brown. So we're going to put some of this on here. 947 on this one. All right. let's get to it. So we're going to start out by, of course, dipping our brush in water. And if I can now locate my brush, here it is. Oh, heavens. All right. Ruth Ann says you ask questions like me. I used to do that with my glasses. You know, where are my glasses? And they would be on my head. You guys, tell me that you have done stuff like this. So I don't feel so alone. Oh my. All right, so we're going to drag some of this color out. And you know, we have stamped this off. So, you know, we're not going to get a ton of color out of here because of that. But we're just going to, you know, make a little line across and just kind of drag this down and get a little bit of color out of here. And then we'll just go to adding the color. And because, you know, the house is white, that's also why I stamped it off twice. You know, if you're going to do the Halloween version, you don't need to stamp it off twice. One time will be plenty for that because it's dark. You know, the house is dark, the coloring is dark, you know, everything is dark on it. So that will be much easier. All right, we don't have to do much with the fence. We're just going to continue on and start adding some color onto here. So let's start with the roof. And I'm going to mix a little of this dark blue with it too. So this is the 969. This is a really warm color. And you know, it's so easy to change up the color on these things and just make it a little bit different. And this is that 969, 969, 947, and 969 on here. And just mix that up. Dip your brush in water and just pick up, you know, a combination of these colors and start out light, you know, so bring it over to the side. Bring it over to the side once you've added water to your brush, and then take this lighter color and just apply it to the roof line. And we're going to make this brown too, so we can just brush this color on. Let me move this just for now. And just add it. You can make this your own. There's no set color combination. You don't have to do it this way for sure. And just add your color. Try to leave, you know, like on the edges, just leave a little tiny bit of white. It just adds to the kind of the charm of it. Makes it look like the roof isn't, you know, exactly smooth. So I'm going to mix these up again. Just kind of mix them up. I need to stay on the screen here, you guys. Maybe I need to zoom out just a little bit more. There we go. Now you can see the palette too. And then we're going to just go over it again. And add a little bit more in here. All right, so then let's go down to this little roof. And you can see the difference in color. So do you see how this one looks a little more green? It's got a little bit more green in it. That's because it's more of this color than this one. So when you're mixing these, you can get a variation of color just by you know, kind of keeping that in mind, which color you want the most of. And then you're just going to get a really nice variation. Okay, so now that we've got that roof done, we'll come back to it too. We'll come back to it and add some detail. I'm going to add a little red over here. And this is just the 856. Doesn't matter what red it is. Just add a little bit of red over here and mix that into a little bit of this brown because we want kind of a brick red. We're going to do the chimney. And so we don't want a bright red on here. And then we can just do that with this one too, actually. Leave just a tiny little highlight in there because that is rounded. Okay, so we've got our little chimneys in. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this brown and mix it into this side. And this is what we're going to do the tree with. So we're going to just add some water in here. And we're just going to brush in this color into the tree. Start out light. You can always add more. And let that dry a little bit. And then we can go back to that. All right, so what do we need to do next? Let's get the sky in so that we can get our leaves and things into the tree. So we're going to just put the sky, and the sky is just going to be this 565. So I'm just going to add water to it, just like this. And just brush it on. Be careful not to touch any of these areas that you have colored. And just kind of, mess it around. Just push it around. My brush is on the paper, so I've not lifted my brush off the paper. And I'm just kind of moving it all around. Some of it's a little lighter, because it has more water in it. And then some of it is just a little bit darker. And you don't have to get every single area. You just kind of want the idea of it. And since we're in the blue, let's just put in our shadow under here. So we're going to just put a dark shadow, just run it right along that side. And then we're going to put one under here as well. And then when we put our pencil lines in, then we'll put a shadow under there too. So I just put a little blue streak right here because this part of the house kind of goes back in the distance. So this would have a shadow back here where this part of the house goes back. All right, so now I'm going to switch over to my little brush. And I'm going to just add the details into the windows. So just the blue in here. And you can make these as dark or light as you want to, and you can make them, change them up too. Maybe you have some light and some dark, depending on how the, shadows are moving. Let's do this one in here. And then just grab some more color and just get these little window panes. And if you go outside the lines a little bit, you can just fix that with your white paint. And just go over that a little bit. Okay, now we're just going to come under here and just put a little shadow underneath the window, and it just brings it forward. See how that just kind of brings that window treatment? So the frame around the window, it just kind of brings that to the front. And then just a little darker on the top. And this one under here, this little window under here is probably going to be a little darker, kind of under that overhang. And then let's just take a little of this, a really light amount, and we're going to leave this little container, this little hanging pot. We're going to leave it white, so we just want to put a little shadow underneath there. And we'll put a shadow up here on this little deck. And then we'll put one on this little step here. All right, let's see what else we need to do here. We need a little shadow on this side also. Since we're looking at this house straight on, So see a little bit over on that side as well. Okay, let's see. What else do we need to do here with this? We'll get to the fence later. We're going to add some shadows onto that, so we'll do that later. Let's go ahead and switch back to the other brush. And we're going to take a little bit more of this brown, especially on the tree trunk, where that's going to be just a little bit darker on here. Okay, so now let's put a little of this light blue. I've got room for it up here. This is the 526, and we're going to just use this. Whoops, that was not a very good 6. We're going to use this on the door. So we're just going to take some of this and just color in this little door. And if you want that darker, just wait a second and let it dry, and then you can go back over it again, and it'll darken. If you don't wait for it to dry, it won't get darker. It'll just kind of pool onto your paper. Okay. Now that we've got that done. All right, let's go into our greenery now, and I'm going to take a little bit of my cooler green. So this is the 249, and I'm going to put this up here by the blue, and I'm just going to mix this in to get a really kind of cool color for the background. And I want this really light. So I'm just going to kind of come, along here, along the side of the house, and just kind of brush this in really lightly, just so that we can kind of see a hill in the background, but really, really, really light. And then we'll add some foliage too. And as we kind of come around here, we're going to have foliage and, other things going on around here. So we can add that in as we go. Okay. What else do we need? We always come back to the little tiny details, later. So right up under here, on these little posts. These are going to stay white, so we don't have to add a lot of color, but we do need a shadow across this area under here. So we do need that shadow cast under there. Do you see how that brings that forward? It just really works. And then inside here, where this little pot is, this is pretty dark inside here. So we can add some color in here. So this blue. And then we're going to put in the railing, the little railing with our white paint. So we're going to add that. So we need a little bit of color back in here. And now that I am just thinking about it, I'm just going to put this little doorknob in with my twin tone. Okay, so now let's get our leaves in on the tree, and we're going to use these two colors. So these are the two. Let me move this out of the way just for now. These are the two colors we're going to be using, the 195 and the 177. And we're going to use, and you know what, you guys, I never told you what I'm using. Let me do that right now. We're going to be using one of these two little foliages, so either or, which the one that leads to the left or the right, doesn't matter, it's up to you. This is from the foliage set 4. The mini flower set, we're going to be using 3 things out of here. So this one, and this little long stem right here. So those 3 things from the mini flower set. The little branches, this one right here. And then from the foliage set, the grass. And that's it. That's all we're using. So very simple. These are all basic things that I know a lot of you have already. And if you're missing something like this, you can substitute it out. You really can. If you've done any watercolor, you probably for sure have this set. You can substitute out this vine And then you for sure have the little grasses that you can use in the background. All right, so now I've done that. Let me put that aside, and let's get our tree done. So we're going to use two colors, and we're going to use that little vine. So I have the one that's kind of leaning to the left, and which means it's leaning to the right when you stamp it. So we're gonna ink this in two colors. So we're going to start out with the darker one, the 177, and just about half of it, just about half, and then we're going to go right over the top with the 195. And we're just going to stamp these leaves into the tree and just, get them out there a little bit. Get them out there away from the branches. So we're going to do it again. And we're going to just add these two colors. And we're going to do that again up here. So up here a little bit farther to the top like this. And now if you want to, you can just use the 177 green. You can just ink this one. And then you really have kind of a mix of color. You've got some that are darker and some that are lighter in the background. And then let's go back to it. And we'll do the light green again. And then we'll get, some kind of growing out over here. And you can kind of make this tree, let's do one just with the light. You can make this tree as big as you want just by, dragging these leaves way out farther. So let's take the dark one again, and we'll get this in here. And then we'll do the light, and we'll get this up here. And it's just a really nice, because when you're looking at a tree, there's all kinds of variation of color. It's not just one green, it's lots of different greens. And so we're always trying to make this look realistic. So now let's add water to it, and you're just going to dab. And if the brown kind of mixes in a little bit, that's okay. If the blue mixes in, that's okay. But you can see that change up of color, and this really bright green just is a really kind of summery color. See how light it's just, here, let me zoom in. So you can see the mix of color here. Such a pretty green. You've got a really good mix of color, and you can just kind of drag this out. I do this a lot. I just kind of keep dragging this color out, mix it in with the blue. It just makes it look more like it's a painting. I never want anything that I've done to look like a stamp. That's just the tool that we use. We just use the tool. But this is your own creation. This is your art. And you're using a tool like you would a brush or something like that. But when you put it together, you put everything together, it's 1000% your art. It really is. Okay, let's zoom out again. Okay, so now let's continue on here, and we'll just continue on with the foliage as we go down. So we're gonna pick up this little leaf floral from that mini flower set. Just looks like just a little leafy either flower or foliage. And we're just gonna put it in here in the background, just like this. Just like we're just creating a little bush. And if you're, from the Midwest, and your farmhouses, like there's not a lot of like mountains, and, we're in a valley. And so we see mountains all around us, but not everybody lives in that scene. So you can kind of create this flatter background just by putting these, this little horizon in here. And those of you who have lots of trees around you, you can just add more. You can add more trees into your background, whatever trees are around your farmhouse. So we're going to do this again over here, and we're going to add in that little fence. So we want to make sure we have a lot of color, in the background. And just keep, stamping as much of this in as you want to. And then we just kind of touch it. Just touch it. You don't want to brush out the texture of the stamp. You want to see those details, but the water will just kind of soften it. And I've kind of lost my horizon line, so I'm just going to go back in here and put this back in just a little bit higher. Okay, so we've got a horizon, it's just a little bit higher. And you know, it's different every time. It just is. Okay, let's put our flowers into the foreground, and we're going to use this little guy. And we're going to use two colors. So we'll start out with this really bright 685, this pretty violet. And we're just going to ink the florals, and then we'll ink the stems down below. So two colors on this stamp, and then we're just going to stamp it, you know, we're just going to kind of stamp it over here. And let's do it one more time with this pretty violet. And I've stamped it on here a couple of times because I want to get enough of these little florals in. You could also just come in, you know, over here and maybe hit it again with that little violet. And then I'm going to clean this off because I want to just do purple now. So we're going to go in with just a little darker color. So I just used a baby wipe to clean it off. And now we're going to go in with this color. So this is the 636. And we're going to do the same thing again with that dark color. And then we'll go over it again with the stem. And you can just eyeball it, you know. Stamp it down here just a little bit darker. And up here at the top. So you can hit that again. Just tip your stamp so you're only hitting the blooms. You know, tip it or tip it this way. So you're getting just the grasses or the bloom. Here's what I mean about trusting the process. You know, let me just zoom in on this because this kind of looks like a mess, doesn't it? It really does. Don't ever just give up when you're at this stage. You know, it will come together. So as soon as we add the water to it, you know, we're going to just kind of brush this down. Brush this grasses down like this. And then just kind of bring it over to the side. And then you're going to just touch these little florals. Just touch them with the tip of your brush. And depending on how much, you know, water you add to it, you can get this really, you know, kind of, you know, blended out watercolor look where you really don't see much detail. If you have less, you can see, if you use less water, you can see this. This is the difference. This is much more water on your brush. I love both of these. I love the look of both of these. So it's just your preference. And so we've got our little flowers in there, and I'm going to go back over. I'm going to let that dry just for a second, and I'm going to go back over this and get a little more purple in here. Just the blooms. So I'm just going to ink it, you know, one more time in here. And so I got a little more color. I didn't need to ink the grassy part. But you can see the difference with just having a little more detail in here. These little flowers are just so cute. And then you can just, you know, kind of drag this color, you know, down. Just drag it out. It looks really kind of abstract, but it's so cute. It's so cute. All right, let's go to the grass. We're going to use the little grass now, and we're going to use that same green, so the 177. And let me zoom out again. And I'm just going to kind of come right underneath where this little porch is. Just come right underneath there, and then just maybe hit it again, just kind of over here, because we've got our clothesline, so we don't want to get into that. And then I'm going to add just a little more grass over here on the side. When it comes to, okay, here's a tip. when it comes to these little tiny stamps, you know, like the grass, for example, that you're going to use it all the time. I have my little grass out all the time because I am always grabbing it for something. It's one of those stamps that you'll just continue to use over and over again. So I leave it in the same place. I put it in the same place every time I use it, and I know exactly where it's going. I know exactly where it's going to stamp. I can't see through it because it's not clear, but I know exactly where it's going. I would, you know, if I were you, glue this to your block, just permanently adhere it, and then you have a feel for it. So every time you use it, you're going to know exactly how it stamps. It's just, you're going to get used to the feel of it, and you're going to know how to do it without really even thinking about it. You're not going to guess and have to kind of look at the side and see where you're lining it up. And I'm going to take some of this now, and I'm just going to add a little bit into this. You see what I mean? I've just used this so many times, like I can just see exactly where it's going. And I'm just going to put a little of this grass into here. We'll just pretend like it's foliage, and it's just so cute, kind of hanging down to this little potted plant. And let's just, while we're at it, put a little, you guys, we need a little stripe. We need a little stripe on there. All right, so now that's done. Okay, so let's go on to our our little clothesline. We're gonna add some white flowers into the background, but we could add a few more of these also. You could take the top of this. Let's clean it off. So let's just clean it off with a baby wipe. Make sure we get all that. When you're going from a dark color to a light color, you want to make sure that you really get that cleaned off. So you could take a few of these and just get it over here in the background. So you can add these little florals in here. I'm just kind of tapping it into the background. I just inked the top, so not the stems, just the top, not the grassy part. And these are kind of in the background, so we wouldn't see them too much. I mean, they wouldn't be too detailed, but we would just definitely see the color back there. So you could do it, you could add to it like that if you want to. And then we're going to put our white fence in and finish that up. Let's just blend this out a little bit here. We still got to come in and put our details into the house. Okay, so now what do we need to do? Let's do the clothesline. So you can use whatever colors you want into the clothesline. Let me just move this out of the way so you can see. You can use whatever colors you want into the clothesline. I made them, you know, I tried to pick some colors that really stood out. You could also leave some areas white. If you have a lot of color going on down here, you could leave one of these little things white. I took this blue, actually let me use my little brush here. I took some of this warm blue at the top, this 526, and I made a little plaid on here. So this one right here, so this is the third one in, I just made a little detail. So just like that, you could leave it as a stripe if you want to, or you can come again like this. And you could make that a little plaid like that, which I think is so cute. And then I picked a bright color, a red. Let's turn this around. So I picked this really bright red just to have something totally different that really stood out. And I colored this one. And you could come in with your white paint now, and you could make, you know, a little heart. So what I did was I made a darker heart onto it, but let's do it with the white paint so you could see what that looks like, because you can come in and add more detail now with the white. And then I took some of my bright green. This is the bright green that we used on the trees. And I just colored in these little pants. Like so. And then I made a quilt out of this, but this would also be really cute, I thought, as a sign. So if you had, you know, like if this were a housewarming gift or something like that, you could put Home Sweet Home on here. You could put a birthday, you know, best wishes or congrats or welcome or something like that. Steph, Bonnie and her stripes. Stripes are us, Steph. That is it. You know, I got to have a stripe somewhere. So funny. So true. So true. So if you want to make a quilt on this, which is really also, to me, goes with farmhouse theme, take your pencil and pencil it in. It will save you some stress putting these little squares in. So I just took it like this. So you got kind of divided into thirds, and then do the same thing across the top. And kind of follow the lines. You know, this is blowing in the wind, you know, so just kind of follow these lines, you know, kind of like this. And you can make your little quilt, you know, kind of like that. So, you know, this line and, you know, it's moving. So what I'm saying is, don't make a straight line and a straight line. You know, try not to do that. Try to kind of follow the movement of the little quilt. And then you can make this like literally whatever colors you want. So let's pick some purple. Let's pick some blue. And maybe we have a white. Maybe we have a white on there. Or let's do a purple, blue, maybe this purple. And then we have a white. Okay, so let's just do it. I'm going to get my little brush out. And then we'll start out with this one on the top. This is, you know, this is the fun things to do on these projects, are the little details, I think. I think these are just, it's so fun to do it. And we're going to, let's see, then we'll go to, which other color? Let's go to the blue. So we'll go to this one. And you guys get the idea. And then this one. And you know what? Let's just do the green. Let's just do it. I mean, this is going to be a bright quilt, a patchwork. All right, so now this one starts down lower. And then the green would be up here, right? The green would be up there, and then the blue. And then the purple. Okay, so then the purple. So then what comes next? Purple, the green. Okay, you guys, well, I know this one is this. This one is this. So then this one must be blue. And then what goes above it is the green. So this one is the green. And then this must be purple. Okay. All right, so we've got our little quilt in there. And then, you know, we can just take your tiny little brush and just, you know, make some little details in here. follow the lines, you know, the direction that the quilt's going. And it'll be so cute. We can come in with a white paint and we can add some dots and stuff in here too. But how cute is that little clothesline? Just think that's so cute. The memories, you guys. I picture myself out there just swinging on that post and creating all kinds of random things. My dad passed away when my mother came here from Germany. So she came through Ellis Island in the 50s. She was about 30. And my dad passed away when I was about a year old. And so, you know, they had this little tiny house and they had a garage and it had all kinds of random stuff that was his. You know, all kinds of tools and bags and just all kinds of stuff. And it was like my treasure house. And I found just the most random things to make stuff out of, you guys. It's just the things we do. All right, so now let's go on to our little fence. And we're gonna add some, actually, you know what? Let's put the pencil lines into the house first. Let's do this and then we'll finish up with the fence. So we're gonna take a ruler and a pencil and we're gonna just, you know, draw in these details. So we're gonna just start up here and we'll just draw our first line in like this. And just kind of, you know, measure. I mean, it doesn't, you can kind of guess. I just kind of look at, you know, some of these little tiny lines, you know, on here, and I just kind of line it up with that and hope that I'm kind of straight. But you can always erase it too. Okay, I think that's probably close enough. And then you can change direction and you can, you know, do the boards, you know, a different direction. So let's start down here on this side. So let's just go up like this. Okay, we won't see that one. So we'll see this one, this one, this one, and this one up here. All right. And I think that's probably good. You can come through and draw them, you know, draw some lines like this one, some vertical lines and then some horizontal ones, or you can leave them off. Let's just leave it off and then you can see what it looks like if you leave it off. Let's come in and just put that shadow in right now so we don't forget that. So underneath here, because this is a detail and we're going to bring that forward, and we bring it forward by putting a shadow under that. See how that just brought that forward? This section of the house. And then you can also just add a little shadow underneath here. That pencil line will bleed out a little bit, which is kind of cool. Same over here. You can just pull a little of this color out too. And then you can just, you know, kind of leave these as is. And then, you know, I would just always just kind of muddy it up a little bit, you know, with some of this color, just kind of muddy it up. Because it's never going to be just plain white. And, you know, there's always going to be, you know, some sort of, you know, shadow kind of coming across like this. And adding just a little bit of texture in here just kind of, you know, makes it look more realistic. Drag some of this out of the windows. And then let's just put a little more of this color into the trees. Okay, so let's go to the fence, and we're just gonna hit these little fence posts with a little bit of blue in between here. So just a shadow. We're gonna leave this fence white. We're just gonna leave this white. So we wanna just add a little shadow, and I'm just using the blue. So you can't see my palette in here. Let me just move this over. So we're using this 565. This one right here, and we're just putting a little bit of this blue onto these posts. Okay, like so. And then we're going to come in with that little branch. So this one right here, we're going to come in here, and we're just going to add some of these branches kind of growing up on the front of this fence. So we're going to use that brown. So this is the 969 brown, and we're just going to ink this. and just stamp it in here, just kind of like this. Maybe we'll just put one here, and then, you know, maybe one kind of over here. Maybe we just add a little bit over here. Okay, and once we got those in, now we can add our foliage to it. So we're just going to use the warm green again, the 177. You could use the combination too, if you want to. You could use that combination green and add that bright green into here, which would be really cute, if you want to. So we're going to just stamp in some leaves. Look, some little, you know, bushes growing out into the front. Don't forget some white dots on the clothesline. Oh, Patricia, never would I forget that. Nope, I'm dots and stripes. So I'm gonna get the white paint out, and we're gonna get some white in here. So funny. You guys know me so well. All right, so we're gonna add some water now to this. And we'll just kind of dab, we're just going to dab at it. It's okay if it blends in. If the brown mixes with the green, it changes up the color a little bit, and that's okay. That's okay, because nothing is ever just one color. I got this one kind of hanging over a little bit over the fence. And the fence, the lines on the fence are pretty thin, so you can wash them out easily. And especially if you've stamped off your if you stamped your project off at least twice, you can, you know, the lines are really thin. Okay. And I mean, we could just, you know, put a few little shadows in here like this. Just a little bit of blue in there just to bring those up off the, kind of up off the wall. All right, so now we're going to add a little bit of grass into the front. So we're gonna use this little guy again. And we'll just kind of, you know, we don't have to go across the whole thing. I mean, you can if you want to, but really just this area, kind of where the gate opens, where the fence opens. And then just kind of brush this, you know, across the front of here. And we can just add a little more green back in here. It's so cute. And then we're going to add in some florals. Just these little long stems. So before we do that, I'm going to add just a little bit more of this. I'm going to use my cooler green, so my 249. I'm going to add some of more of these little vines kind of growing up like this. Just kind of growing up here and there. And then just touch it, just dab and touch it just like that. Okay, and once that's done, let's just put a little blue line right here. Now we can put in our little long stem. So this one, and want to make sure we get enough color on that little bloom. So this bloom is really small, and I'm using the violet, so the 685. And then just use any green. And just stamp it in a couple of times, just like that. Doesn't have to be overworked. Just get it in there a couple of times. So cute, just the way it is. And then just kind of lean in and maybe hit one more. Oops. Let's do that one more time right here. And maybe we just put one over here. And you could, you know, you really could just stamp them all along the fence too. Be totally fine. How cute are these little guys? Aren't they so cute? Catherine joining very late. I love the clothesline. Catherine, you'll have to go back and listen to the whole conversation about the clothesline because we were going down memory lane about the clotheslines we had growing up. And, you know, I don't know if you remember that or if you're old enough to have had it grown up with a clothesline. I sure did. Okay, so now I'm going to just put some detail back in this roof. And I'm just going to make some straight lines here. I mean, they're kind of straight. Just add some more detail in here like that. And a little darker color coming down the edge. Like so. And under here, under this little roof. And you know what? Let's just add a few little details in the tree. Like so. Okay, you guys, it's coming together. Let's get our white paint out. Let's get our white paint out and jazz it up here. So cute. Okay, you guys, if you want to make shutters, where did I just read that? I like the shutters. I thought I just read that somewhere. I may have lost it now in the comments, but someone said, I like the shutters. Where did I see that? Oh, Sandy, I like the shutters at the windows. Okay, you guys, shutters are the easiest thing to do. Literally, it's a parallel line to this and another line over here and then a line across. Like literally, that's it. So you can just draw two lines like this on either side with your pencil. And now you have shutters on here. And you can make them any color, whatever color you want. And let's just color them in. Let's just do it. So maybe we just make them, what would be on a farmhouse, you guys? Green? I feel like green shutters would be. Or black. That would have been cute too. Black shutters. Okay. That's it. How cute is that? All right, so now let's get our white paint out. I'm going to move my palette out of the way. And then we're going to add some white paint. So I'm going to get my tiny brush out and get a little water into my white paint and kind of mix it around. And I just kind of drag it to the side of my little jar. Some more of this paint up here. Okay. Okay, so let's put in our fence first. So we're just going to draw some straight lines. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? Okay. So we're just going to draw some straight lines. Like so. And then we'll just grab a little more paint. And we can do the same over here too. So we can add another little post or two. Back there in the background. How cute. And then we can add some white, little white blooms into our little bouquet up here, our little flowers. And then we want to add some white to these growing on our fence. So these are going to be a little bit bigger because they're farther in the foreground. So they're just going to be little florals like this. And just, you know, they don't necessarily have to have any specific shape. I mean, they're just kind of little blobs. Just brush them in. Some bigger, some smaller. Then, you know, we've got our little white flowers that are just kind of in the grass. They're just so cute. Just something about the white paint, guys. Just love it. Okay, so now let's do some detail on here. So there's that little heart. And then, okay, we got to have like some little dots here. I mean, that's so cute. You can just, and then let's just, you know what, let's just make this little window have a little detail in it. And so we want to get the little railing in here on the porch. Okay. That is just too cute. This is the best, this is the favorite part, besides the clothesline. This is my favorite part, putting in the white. We can, you know, kind of extend this little fence out. We don't know where it's going, how far it's going to go out, but it's so cute. And then, you know, if you want to, you can put some little, whoops, that's a little too dark. Get some of that off. Some little streaks in the window where the light is kind of shining. Got a little highlight on the doorknob. Let's see, where else? Gonna take that off. Okay, that looks so cute. Let's put a little highlight back on this, and let's put just a highlight on the edges of things. So we'll just put a little highlight on that chimney, and then the edge of the roof, where that would just be catching. That would just kind of catch the light. And put a few more little white spots in here. Okay, you guys, I think we are finished. How cute is that? All right, so I will be telling, if you haven't already or you joined us late, we are taking a count. So you guys are voting on which one of these you want to see tomorrow. So I'll show you again. So I did 2 variations besides this one. So this is the spring one. Let me zoom out here. So this is the spring one. And then I also did a Christmas one. This is the one I was planning on doing tomorrow. So the little Christmas scene, same house, and it's just so cute. And then I also did this one. So the Halloween. So let me move this out of the way. So you guys vote on which one you want to see tomorrow, the Halloween one or the Christmas one. And put that in the comments, and then I will pick the one you guys want the most tomorrow. So join me tomorrow. Let me show you this set again as to what is in this set. So here it is. It is the farmhouse. It's a little farmhouse, and it's 5961, available till Thursday. So this is a throwback. So Thursday, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Georgia, she says, been an incredible tutorial. Thanks for the time you put in to give us all such inspiration. You guys, I love to inspire you. Just love it. And then this is your free gift. So with this set, if you buy this little farmhouse, you get these little chickens. And here's the actual size. Here's the actual size of them. You could take out, you guys, you could take out the fence and you could put these little chickens in the foreground. They would be so cute. So cute. It just basically what that would do is set your little house back in the background. That'd be really, really cute. So these are the free gift. You get the little chickens set as our thank you. That comes with your farmhouse set. So if you buy this, you're going to get this free in your order. And then this is our promo release for the month. So this is the one we're bringing back. This little mouse with his flower. And you can find this on our website. So this is available. EF0924 is available. This has never been for sale. These are all things that we have given away as promotions. And we're bringing them back just to give you collectors a chance to get them again. So you'll see this. You'll see them all on our collector's guide, which is on our website under Get Inspired. And you'll see it on there. All right, everyone, vote on in the comments, Christmas or Halloween, and I will be doing a project tomorrow on the same set. So let me switch back so I can say hi and goodbye to all of you. Okay, you guys, what did you think of that? That was such a fun project. The summer one is so fun. The Christmas and the Halloween also are they're absolutely just a blast to do. So, Marianne, love spending time with you. Love spending time with you guys, especially just walking down memory lane. I'm going to be thinking about the sandpaper towels the rest of the day, you guys. That was hilarious. So you guys, thanks for joining me. You guys are just the best. You are so kind, Tony. You are so welcome. Thanks for all the support, you guys. Thanks for all the encouragement. I just love spending time with you. Be sure to put in the comments if you would like to win one of these. There will be 3 to give away: Halloween, Christmas, and the spring one. I'll be giving those away, so be sure to indicate if you really especially want one of those 3. So be sure to comment that you would like to be put in the drawing, and then you might be chosen for that one. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you back tomorrow, 10 o'clock Pacific time. I'll see you back with either the Halloween or the Christmas one. See you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.